All right, now girls, tell me, what is 2 to the 4th? 16. How can I rewrite that as a log equation? Log, and then you're going to have something down here, something here, log of something equals something. Does anyone think they know even what one of those numbers go? Base 2. Is everyone happy with the base? And the way I remember it, girls, log equals the power every single time, which is why I then put the power here. And then what's left? Oh, 16. So it's log of 16 base 2 equals the power 4. Does that make some sense?
Yeah.
How about if I make it 5 squared equals 25? How can I rewrite that as a log equation? In other words, girls, I'm rewriting it as an equivalent equation.
Log of 25 base 5 equals 2.
Is she right? Yep. The way to remember, this base, yes. Log equals the power, and then the 25 must go in the last place there. The other thing we should know is log and exponentials are opposites of each other. So girls, for instance, if 2 to the x equals 160, now there's actually no just nice power of x that equals 160, like it's not 5 or 7 or anything. It'll be some kind of weird decimal. Okay? Is everyone okay with that? Now, how can I get x by itself? What's the opposite of 2 to the x? What's the opposite?
Log base 2.
Yes. So if I do log base 2 to both sides like this, because you know what you do to one side of an equation, you have to do the other. Does that make sense? Everything okay? What cancels out?
Log base 2 and the 2.
Yes, the log base 2 and the 2 to the power. So what's left on this side? Just x. And then that equals log base 2, 160. At this moment in time, girls, you can't evaluate that on the calculator because the only buttons you have on your calculator are LOG and LN, at least the scientific one. This is base 10, so it's log base 10. This is log base E, which we'll get to soon. So at the moment, I don't have a log base 2 button, so I can't do anything. Does that make sense? If A and B are both positive, log of A plus log of B equals log of A times B. Now, this one here is because of, it's kind of like saying if capital A equals A to the M and capital B equals A to the N. Are you with me? I'm just letting those things be that. What's A times B? That would be A to the M plus N. Is that okay with index laws?
Yeah.
Everyone's okay? Now also, if we do the log of both sides, let me write that out a bit better in here. So that becomes log of AB and log of that. You just get log of AB, and on this side, the log and the A cancel out, and you're left with M plus N. Does that make some sense there? So, but M plus N is just, M is just the log of A from that, and N is just the log of B from that. So we end up with this. Now, if that's really confusing, let me show you a numerical version that might be easier to understand. Log of 4 base 2 plus log of 2 base 2. First of all, what does that equal? Now, who remembers how to evaluate this? 2, because 2 squared is 4. Do you understand? Because 2 squared is 4, the log is this power here, which is, so it's 2. Take a moment now. What's this equal to? 1, because 2 to the 1 is 2, so what was the power? 1. So this there becomes 1. That equals 3. Is everyone with me? Now, according to this property, that should equal log of base 2 of 8. Yes. It's 4 times 2. See how it's like our A and B are 4 and 2? And so here we found log A, log B, which is here. And then we do 4 times 2 in there. So that should be log of 8. Now, girls, tell me, what does log of 8 base 2 equal? Oh, look at that. They are the same. So that does work. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's try the next one. Let's do a similar thing for the next one because I think otherwise it's a bit hard. Now I'm looking at this. Log of 64 base 4 minus log of 16 base 4. Notice I'm keeping the bases the same. They have to be according to this. Is that okay? All right, so let's just figure out what this is. Equals. Does anyone know what log base 4 of 64 is? 3. 4 4 is 16. 16 times 4. Okay, good. 3 minus log of 16 base 4. 2. So that becomes 3 minus 2. Is everyone okay with that? And what does that equal? Now let's see if the other side works. The other side says I can just divide them. Oops. Log base 4 of 64 over 16. Does anyone know what's 64 divided by 16? 4. Who knows what that equals? Log of 4 base 4. 1. And they are the same. Excellent. It does work. Is everyone okay? Cool. Now, last one. N log A equals log of A to the N. Okay, now girls, forget the 6 for a second. We're just going to focus on this. Who knows what that becomes? Log of 125 base 5. 3. So that becomes 6 times 3, doesn't it? And that's 18. Now, let's translate it to this side. According to that rule, that should be the same as log base 5 of 125 to the 6, according to that rule, which looks really hard. It's not as hard as it looks. Can I just show you? How can I rewrite 125 as a base of 5? Yep, so that becomes 5 cubed all to the 6. Do you see that I replaced the 125 to the 5 cubed? Now, what can you do with indice laws there? Times the powers, so that becomes 5 to the 18. But wait a minute, we can simplify that. It just equals 18 because the log and the 5 cancel each other out. So it just equals 18. Oh, they're equal as well. Good. Okay, now they're showing why it's equal. You don't really need to worry. You just need to use them. Now, girls, I'm adding 2 logs. How can I just rewrite it? I just want to write it as a single logarithm. In other words, I just want log of something. Done. Can anyone tell me what it would be?
Log 6 times 2, so log of 12.
It's just log of 12. Is everyone okay with that? We're using that first law. And girls, can I just ask you quickly, what invisible base is there?
10.
Good, you remembered. Next one. Log of 30 minus log of 6. They both happen to be base 10, but we don't need to write it. How can I rewrite that? Beautiful. 30 on 6, which is? Now, I'm happy for you to go straight to log of 5. I just thought I'd write that out just to make sure we know where it came from. It's the next one.
Log 20 divided by 1.
Yeah, which is?
Is it a trick? Log 20?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Now, because it's just weird because it didn't change. Because 20 divided by 1 is just 20. Also, there's a reason for that. It's log of 1 always equal to 0. Why is that? If you've got something to the power of 0, it always equals 1. So the log equals the power, right? Because 2 to the 0 is 1. 10 to the 0 is 1. You know what I mean? So to get an answer of 1, your power has to be 0, which is why log of 1 is always 0. D. Basically, what I want you to do, I first want you to rewrite this and get rid of the 2 at the front because I can't do the division, that usually goes with minus, until I have them both as log of something, log of something. The 2 and the 3 out the front stuff it up. So can you just first rewrite that first bit as log of one thing? Does anyone know what it becomes using your laws? Log of 5 to the power of 2. Let me write that out first. Yes. Minus log of 4 to the power of 3. So now let's rewrite those first of all. What's log of, how else can you write 5 squared?
25.
Yep. So we're just going to leave it as log of 25 minus log of, beautiful. Oops, sorry. So, girls, finally to finish it off, how can I finish off as log of something? Yes. And I can't simplify that, so I'm going to literally leave it. What do you think our first one is going to be? Beautiful. We're just rewriting the first one. Now, plus. Now, girls, I want them both in terms of a log. Now, girls, can I show you something? I'll go slow. I want to make this 2 times 1 because that does equal 2. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have to think, well, what log is equivalent to 1? Well, I'll show you. I'll get there in a second. First of all, what's 4 cubed?
64.
Exactly. So it becomes log 64. Oops, whoa. Plus, now, girls, what base am I using here? 10. Good. Is everyone with me?
Yeah.
100%? So I'm going to write that in to help you out. What invisible number should I put here if I want all of this to be 1? Okay, so girls, think about this for a minute. Log of 10 base 10. 10 to the 1 is 10. Nope, 10. Therefore, log of 10 base 10 is 1. I've got log of 64 at the front plus log of, how can I rewrite this as just log of something? Yes, which is? Beautiful. Is everyone okay? And what's that using our log laws as log of one thing? Yep.
64 times 100.
Yeah, it's a really big number. Show that. Now remember, girls, if you see a word show in the exam, I want to see every little step. You can't assume anything. I want to see every little bit of working. Now, I like for proofs or shows, I like to go left-hand side and work with it, right-hand side, work with it, see if they're equal. Does that make sense? So let's have a go at A. Let's go left-hand side. Is that this one here? How can I rewrite that using my log laws?
Log something minus something.
Yeah. What is the somethings? Log of 1?
20.
Beautiful. Now, but wait a minute. What did I say before? What's log of 1 always? 0. Do minus log of 25. I might just go slow. So it equals negative log of 25. But that's not quite what I want. Yeah, and we need the negative out the front. Yes, is that right, girls? Do they equal? Are they equal? Yes. And now using my log laws, what can I do with that too? Put it out the front. So it equals negative 2 log of 5. Oh, wait a minute. That equals the right-hand side, therefore I'm done. Technically, a perfect solution would be to say therefore and write out the original statement. Though I don't think you'd be marked down if you didn't. That's kind of like perfect. Let's play with B. One thing at a time. And generally, girls, the easier way to do it is to play with the left-hand side. Generally, it's set up like that, okay? The fact that it's a minus, what does that mean? I want a division. I want a log of something over something. What 2 things can you divide to give 250? So I'm going to write 1,000 divided by 4. And how can I rewrite that now? How can I rewrite that using my log laws so that hopefully there's a subtraction in there somewhere?
1,000 minus log 4.
Beautiful. Now, look at what we got over here and look at this. That first log needs to turn into a 3. How would it turn into a 3?
Well, it's base 10, so can you just write in the base 10? And then...
Yeah, it's like 10 cubed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You probably could go to 3, but do you get that, girls? And that's the clue with a 3. Because the fact that it's 3, I know I'm going to have like a 10 cubed. So that was kind of the clue with the numbers. So I've got that minus log of 4. But I don't want log of 4, I want log of 2. according to this. So 2 to the power of what is 4? 2, so I put a little 2 there. And then I go minus, how can I rewrite that? 2 log 2, beautiful. So another way you might have thought about it is you might have looked at the right-hand side. I think they've both got clues. The 3 has to come from 10 cubed because it's base 10. And 2 log 2 has to come from log of 2 squared, which is 4. So you get the 1,000 and the 4, which is how you get this bit here.